You're only half happy, or
Still to be happy about.
you're up too old?
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Now the motion man goes to the left. Over the middle. Wow. Tipped up and caught. What an athletic play there by number 84, Klay Thompson.
Yeah, that was it.
And with her, I know I can win.
And just trying to get the ball to JJ. That's what was hurting me, just knowing that, yeah, we're going to execute the field goal, trusting Jake and all the guys on special teams, but obviously their offense is really good. Mahomes is really good, and you just don't want to give him an opportunity, to go down and win the game off a touchdown. So when I wasn't able to connect with him, it hurt. So, yeah.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns
for the lead.
Some say love,
Moody's kick.
is a
Oh, it's good.
river that leads your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need.
Go ahead and get a motion to get your best players off of their best players. And right now, their two best defenders are guarding your two best wide receivers.
McCaffrey in motion. They fake the handoff to him. Chiefs in on Purdy so fast he had to.
Some say love, it is a razor that leads your soul to bleed. Some say love.
What's going on?
First and goal. Mahomes flings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City!
And this was the
I say love, it is a flower.
I was on mute the whole time. It's a tough day. It's a tough day. Man. Thailand. I don't know what to say. But it's a tough day. Patty Mahomes got it done. Now I'm wearing I'm wearing the shades because it's a tough day. It's a tough day to have a tough day. All that being said, though, welcome to Addressing the Game podcast. My name is Clayton Stallings. I'm your host. Man, we're going to get into it. We got a lot of things for you. We talk about the Super Bowl, talk about Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, Brock Purdy. What's with all the hate? I don't know. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about some tragedies that happened over, I think, over the weekend. And then we're going to have a little halftime talk, little game, cap or no cap. We know how it goes. We'll talk about some life in general stuff, just to help each other out as loving Christians. And we're going to do what we do. And the NFL is so woke that I had to put the shades on even more because of it. But yeah, it's a tough day. With all that being said, I got to introduce my man, the myth, the legend himself, Thailand Bryant. But first, I got to do it. Hey, man, y'all do me a favor. Give my boy a big round of applause because it's somebody's birthday coming up, and we got to just let them know. Give it a big. Y'all say what's up to my boy Thailand. Thailand, talk to the people, man. It's your birthday. About to be coming up in a few hours, man. Talk to the people. Let's know.
Man, you did not have to put that together, man. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. Yeah, but the main thing is happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Make sure you go spoil your loved one. If you don't have a loved one, go and get that money. That's all I can tell you. But with that being said, I do appreciate the happy birthday wishes. You could follow me on my Instagram at T.Bryant23 and let me know through there. Or you can let us know in the comments and we'll read them as soon as we get done with the live stream. So with that being said, I appreciate it again. And you guys, we got a great show coming up for you guys.
Hey, most definitely. Y'all got to excuse me. I got busted in the nose today. So my right nostril it's leaking. It's leaking. And no, I didn't get beat up by a kid. Even though if you would see where I'm at, you might be surprised that wasn't the case. Nah, I got a basketball thrown in my face today. I was trying to hoop with the kids, man, and let me just say the kids were hooping on me. I got the work put on me. That's all I can tell you, man. That's all I can say, man. But besides that, man, we got a great show ahead of us, man. Let's go ahead and get into it. But, man, let's get one more round of applause for my boy T. Happy birthday, baby. Happy birthday.
Not too much.
Hey, man, like Thailand's been saying, we encourage the live audience. Y'all comment. Y'all tell us what you're thinking, man. It's a sad day. But it's a sad day. Pound that like button. Hit that comment button. Subscribe. Share the channel. Do something to put a smile on our faces. Because we couldn't have been more wrong about our Super Bowl picks. The Super Bowl, man. 49ers versus Chiefs. Dog. I feel like I need to cry.
Don't cry. You're going to make me cry. Don't cry. You're going to make me cry. Yeah, but we got to own up to it. It is what it is. Somebody has to be crowned the loser. Somebody got to be crowned the winner. We just happen to be wrong who the winner would be. Hey, we always got next year.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, this is what, and excuse my language, but this is what the Chiefs told the 49ers, I heard.
Pal, I'm about to tear you a new ass.
Well,
he gave it to him, boy. They gave it to him. Man. We're about to get into it, guys. But first thing first, for the hard transition, we transitioned into the Super Bowl talk. And listen, I'm going to stand on business, and I'm going to tell you what I meant. Brock Purdy, still the dude. Patrick Mahomes, top 5 quarterback. But before we get into it, man, let's do a proper introduction, please. Here we go.
Got Church right bunch, F, shuttle, Tom and Jerry right, yellow. Orange, let's go!
13 seconds to go in the overtime.
Set. We're good.
A touchdown wins the game.
Set.
Right side touchdown! Kansas City! There is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
That was a lot of money riding on that game.
Bro. Vegas scripted it, dog. I'm telling you they did. Not lying to you. Vegas scripted it. Man, and look, you can't script a football game to the T, but you can do a really good job of trying your best to manipulate the game to the best of your ability. With refs, with practice facilities, we heard about that this week. With lackadaisical play, you never know who's got money on the games. Could be a player. I mean, you just heard not too long ago, there's a cat in LSU. He's in a huge legal bind right now because he was betting on games, including the games he was in.
He was betting on himself. That's the crazy.
Bro, who's to say that the NFL, that there's certain cats that ain't trying to get their money's worth? And they could be on the dang team. I'm not going to know. I'm not sitting here saying that the 49ers wanted to lose. Not by any means, but, man, that was a great game. I mean, obviously, like, it's not the games we're used to like back in the day when it was hitting, smacking, everybody was going. They were killing cats, cracking. They didn't care. They didn't care, man. And obviously, it's not the same type of, might be a little watered down, but I'll tell you one thing, man. Defenses, they look pretty good. And both defenses, bro. The Chiefs, people are sleeping on the defense coordinator for the Chiefs, man. That DC is the real deal.
Yep.
I think his name's Spagnuolo. Known for blitzing, and they just didn't have an answer. And, really in the fourth quarter. But my thing is just it's kind of wild to me that we are in empty and we fake a jet sweep with Christian McCaffrey on 3rd and 4 out of empty. Then you have everybody running. You have I think they were running slants.
I think the main issue was they were blown assignments by the linemen though, because without that blown
cover zero,
without that blown assignment,
like everybody,
without that blown assignment, he had two receivers that beat the DBs.
Dog, it's 5-man protection. There's zero protection. It's 5-man protection. There's cover zero. They're sending more than they can block. Brandon Ayuk was open, and I can't remember his name. Jennings, number 15.
Yeah, he broke free at the end. He did break.
They were both open, but it just wasn't quick enough. I mean, and I blame that personally. I blame it on Brock Purdy. You got to see it. But again, we're forgetting he's not Patrick Mahomes' 28-year-old quarterback. He's a 24-year-old second-year player. First season for a full year start. And that's a learning curve. We're expecting this man to be like Joe Montana. It's his second year. Second year, dog. Peyton Manning, he wasn't crazy his second year. Can we give the man his props? Do we know all the stacked teams that Peyton Manning had coming up? How many Super Bowl wins he got? He got 2. He's got 2, man. So we can't sit here and act like Brock Purdy sold the game. No, Brock Purdy had a really good game. He was a good game manager. Game manager is not a bad tag to have on you. I'd rather be a game changer or game manager than be a bench writer. I don't know. You can speak more into it, bro, but that's just kind of how.
That's a good point. Of all the things that I did watch in the game, I feel like everything was pretty narrow and pretty well put together. There were some slight mistakes that should not have happened, such as a muff pump that he literally could have fell on, and don't ask me. I don't know. We're thinking that Vegas may have had a hand in the pot, but there's no telling, because whenever you rewatch the video, you clearly see that he can just jump on the ball, but he didn't. And then there were multiple plays where Bosa was being held, and it's not to make excuses. It's not to make excuses. Things happen. The better team won that night. That's all we can end on, is the better team won that night. They made fewer mistakes than what the Chiefs made, and the Chiefs just happened to prevail in that aspect of the game.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. I'm going to take the shades off because I'm done with the funeral talk, the ceremony. It's time to get to business, man. So let's talk about it. Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. They are on their way to greatness. They're on their way to greatness, assuming Andy Reid is still doesn't retire, which I don't think he will. Wouldn't mean, but we've seen crazier things. But Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, man, they're the real deal. Obviously, Andy Reid is been a great coach, but he finally has a quarterback that can solidify that. Man, does Andy Reid? Who's more important? That's what I want to know. Who's more important to the Chiefs? Or is it Andy? Floor is yours.
I honestly can't say that we can split them up. I can't say that one is more important than the other because they intertwine so well together that one without the other could be detrimental to the Chiefs franchise. So with that being said, I mean, you could say you take Mahomes out of the Chiefs, but who would you replace him with? You could say that you bring in another head coach that's just as well. You can't even say that there's a lot of coaches that are just as good as Andy Reid in the league right now that have had so much success within one franchise that they would come over to the Chiefs and potentially continue that progress and that success. You can't.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to who's more important to that team, I don't think Patrick Mahomes has the same success without Andy Reid, but I think Andy Reid has a better chance of having that same success without Patrick Mahomes. That's now listen. We got to listen before anybody starts getting crazy in the comments, right? For our few viewers. Patrick Mahomes would still be a very talented quarterback. He would still be doing things crazy that we haven't seen out of this world. But I don't see him even winning an AFC championship without Andy Reid. I personally don't. I think Andy Reid is that important because let's be honest, who drew up those plays? Especially in overtime in that fourth quarter, in that comeback. Those plays were like just precise. It was straight precision. Like straight precision. Like it was just like crazy how precise and how great they executed on the plays. Andy Reid, by all means, is more important to that team than Patrick Mahomes is. By all means. But they don't do what they do without Patrick Mahomes. Let's not forget that. But without Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes ain't even close.
But it's a power couple. So it's like it's
like Tom Brady, and Bill Belichick, but Tom Brady proved that he can do it by himself too.
Exactly. It's a power couple. At one point, if you eliminate one from the other, it's no longer a power couple. It's just that one solo person. So yeah, of course, Andy Reid, he could potentially still have a great year, but think about it. Who else will replace Patrick Mahomes? Who will replace him? That plays up to his caliber.
I mean, he's obviously one of the most talented. This is my thing. Like he's ultra talented, right? I think he's a better winner than he is a quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is.
That's a great point.
I think he's a better winner than he is a quarterback. And that's saying how good of a winner he is because he's a really good quarterback. Really good, exceptional, great, amazing talent out of this world. But he's an even better winner. I don't think now Patrick Mahomes couldn't come in through the clutch and win games. All that talent is for what? You know what I mean?
Yep.
At the end of the day, if he can't come through in the clutch, it don't matter. So man, I'm sticking by it, man. Andy Reid, obviously, he's that dude. I think he's the reason why they have won as many Super Bowls as they had. But when I say reason, the main reason, but Andy doesn't do that without Patrick Mahomes at this level. That's just my personal opinion, and I'll stand on it. That's how I truly mean. T, any last comments before we make a hard transition to this Brock Purdy hatred that we?
No, man. Let's just get it rolling. We've spoken on this. We will continue to talk about the Chiefs later on.
On me, man. Hey, Patrick Mahomes, solidified top 5 quarterback. Obviously, I'm gonna give it to him. He's number 5 in my book. Got a few more Super Bowls to win before he moves up. Got a few more MVPs to win. Got a few more accolades and statistics he needs to put up. But man, ultimately, I'm gonna be honest with you. Pat Mahomes is that dude, but Andy Reid is definitely that dude. And if they continue with this, man, I don't see how Andy Reid, he's on pace, just like Pat is, to eventually getting in the GOAT talk.
Yep.
For how young Pat is, at least. Andy, I don't know how many years he's got left. But, man, with all that being said, man, before we move forward, we're going to talk about this Brock Purdy hate. T, you got to help me out, man, because I don't get how are we hating on a cat? He's been to 2 NFC title games in 2 years. It's only started a season, 1 season and a half. 2 NFC title games, been to the Super Bowl, 24 years old, has a crazy winning record, has a great playoff record. Yes, does he have some deficiencies? Yeah, he does. What quarterback don't?
Yes,
Not everybody's a Patrick Mahomes and an Aaron Rodgers, dog.
Yeah.
But can we give credit where credit was due? Brock Purdy was very precise in the offense that he ran yesterday. Yes, he didn't throw it outside the numbers. Okay. He was into the defense, into the teeth of the defense he was throwing to. This dude is proving that he's a winner, just like Patrick Mahomes, just not as talented. But you can still win with him. Why? Like, we're going to get rid of him after just a year and a half? Let's go get Kirk Cousins. Let's go get someone else. Let's go draft a quarterback that's taking you to an NFC title game in the Super Bowl. It's not that easy, bro. Bro, I'll let you comment more on it because before we get into it, man, like, I'm very confused with all this hate. And I don't even think it's hate. I think it's jealousy.
Well, I wouldn't take it as far as them trading him. I would hope that they wouldn't trade him simply because of the remarkable season that he has had. But I can see why some people feel like, oh well, hey, he has so many disposables at his I guess you could say helping hand. But honestly, you can't just put any quarterback in that same offense and run it as efficiently as it did. If you think about it, if it weren't for Brock Purdy, what other younger quarterback could you put there that would make those throws, that would make those plays, extend those plays the way he did with his legs at such efficiency? You can't really find anyone. Yeah, Debo didn't have the best game. Yeah, there were there are great players on the team that didn't live up to their expectation this game. But guess what? They still stayed in the game. They had to lead the whole first half. So the second half is where Patrick Mahomes just happened to turn it up a little bit. Their defense happened to turn it up a little bit. There's always room for improvement. And for them to say that they would trade Brock Purdy, I don't feel like that would be the smartest idea for them to do. I really don't. Oh, and then also Brock Purdy has put up probably the best numbers in the Niners playoff run in over the past 3 or 4 years.
On me, man, and I can't even lie to you. We'll listen to a video real quick. I'll share my screen, but this is kind of like how I'm feeling about it, because I'll just let y'all watch the clip, because this is really how I'm feeling when it pertains to this issue.
He's not a game changer. In the infamous words of Mike Singletary, I want winners. Mm-hmm. I want winners, because at the end of the day, what is it all about? It's about winning. Brock Purdy is a winner. He wins. He shouldn't apologize because the 49ers have surrounded him with talent. That's not his fault. But when he's out on the field, he maximizes his talent. He goes out there and plays efficient at a very high level. What more do you want the man to do? He's not Josh Allen, with his ability to run around and do all that. That's okay. There's more than one way to go out here and play quarterback at a high level. I don't understand the whole conversation of trying to talk down on this man. Why? Like his whole story should be celebrated. He was literally Mr. Irrelevant. He comes in. Okay, Jimmy Garoppolo had his time. He comes in, he plays better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't care what metric, I don't care. You can look at the film. Brock Purdy is one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football.
Hey, my boy, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think he was spitting nothing but facts. Little disclaimer though. I don't know if I agree with that last statement.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't go that far.
He still has a lot of work that he needs to do.
The best quarterback won the game on Sunday. That's in the NFL. That's who won the. That's who it is.
Right.
Best quarterback in the NFL just won the Super Bowl. That's who the best quarterback in the league is. So it's really tough for me to wrap my head around how we're putting all this hate and all this expectation on the dude. Like, it's not fair. It's not fair. Yes, he's not as talented as CJ Stroud or Pat Mahomes or any of the number of Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's not as talented as that group, but he did go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and we can honestly say that even if he had won the Super Bowl, we still couldn't label him the best quarterback in the league.
No,
we can say he was the best quarterback that night, but we can't say that he's the best quarterback in the league. He still has so much work to do. He has so much potential that's still ahead of him that still needs to be unlocked. That whenever it's actually unleashed and we see it, all the haters and all the disclaimers will be like, well, hey, we didn't see this at first. He actually can play the game a little good, you know?
On me, man. And this is my thing. He's making throws in the teeth of the defense. Many cats that get upset with quarterbacks say, oh, he don't know how to throw the ball on time with precision, with accuracy to get it to his playmakers on time. Like, and he doesn't have a good lower body mechanic. The dude's got a nice release. He doesn't have he has a pretty good release. He has great lower body mechanics. His pocket presence is very, very good. Decision making, he's still working on it. He's a second-year player, homie. It ain't gonna happen overnight. None of this gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take time. Lamar's in his sixth. He's going on his seventh season. We're still waiting for Lamar to get over his hump. Oh, he's gonna keep getting better though. And we're sitting here crapping on a cat that's in the second year in the league. He's already made it to the Super Bowl. He's done way more than what Lamar has already. Yeah, he hasn't got the accolades winning MVP. I'm sorry. He ain't win the popularity contest. That's all the MVP is now. No disrespect to Lamar. Love Lamar. Had a good season at quarterback. Had a great season overall as a team. But Brock Purdy's already did more than Lamar has in Lamar's 6 seasons, homie. We can't sit here and say that, you know? So, man, before we transition, bro, do you have any last thoughts or any last comments before we move on?
Nope. I can't say I do. I think you hit all the points on the head.
Hey, man. So here we go. We're going to make a hard transition. Hard transition. Here we go. All right, man. This next topic we're going to talk about, we're just going to speak about life a little bit. We're going to take a break from sports for a minute. Real quick, hit that like button, pound the like button. Do us that dub. Do us that favor. We really appreciate it. For the couple people that are in here watching, the more you like it, the more others will get to know us, the more we'll be able to give y'all a better product. Because guess what? YouTube pays. And when we start getting paid, we'll start getting better product for y'all. But at the end of the day, we don't need all the fancy cameras. We don't need all that stuff. We give you quality content. That's what we're here for. Here we go. Guys, I couldn't have said this any more truer than what Alex Jones said. Now, granted, if any of y'all know who Alex Jones is, okay, just give me a break. Okay? Give me a break. Just listen to what he says, because man, the stuff he's spitting, it's as good as it gets. All right. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. Here we go. We're gonna share this screen real quick.
Shed a little light on the situation.
Yeah, we're gonna shed some light on the situation. Give me 1 second, brother.
Just a little bit.
Ooh-wee. Well, whenever we get that back up, I'll be quick to show y'all. But, man, T, I need you to speak on it so I can pull this video up, man. Life is so more important. Like, look, we're going to bring to y'all, we're going to talk about football. We're going to talk about basketball, baseball. We're going to talk about all sports, primarily football, obviously. We're going to talk about all things that pertain to Christian values, all things when it pertains to theology, what happens in the faith, where did it come from, what happened in the 1500s, Protestant Reformation, Protestantism, Catholicism. We're going to get all into it. We're going to talk about the history of our faith. But we also got to speak on real life situations too, on top of our faith. This isn't just a get together where we're just preaching sunshine and rainbows. We're going to talk about some heavy stuff, and we're going to make fun of some things too. And we're going to be serious about some things. We're going to talk about some things that make you a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. It's good to be uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's a great quality trait to have. But this is my main thing. Whatever we talk about, it's what we're going to talk about. We ain't going to just talk about sports during this podcast. We ain't just going to talk about life stuff during this podcast. We're going to talk about some faith stuff. We're going to talk about God, and we ain't just going to talk about God. We're going to talk about all three things. That's what the foundation of this whole platform is, man. All of it.
100%.
So, what's up, brother?
100% agree.
On me, man. So while I pull this up, man, I need you to speak on it a little bit. Tell the people what the foundation of this podcast is, what we're trying to get out there, and also what the point of it is. Because, yeah, we're trying to get truth out there, but we're also trying to have fun doing it too.
Yeah, so, of course, you guys are – for those of you who are here, hopefully that you are reoccurring watchers or viewers, however you want to call it. And if you're new, then yeah, we're here for, like you said, we're here for sports, we're here for life, and we're here for Christianity primarily. That's always going to be the foundation of everything that we go through. That's literally where it starts at. That's where we started. That's where we end at. We always end with prayer, simply because the world is such a better place whenever we pray, whenever we come together, whenever we acknowledge the fact that the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is here for us.
Amen, brother.
And if you don't believe in it, hey, that's your opinion. This is our opinion. This is our podcast. We're not pushing the narrative onto you. We welcome you with open arms.
Amen. Because all we do, I would even correct you on that. This ain't our opinion, man. This is the truth. And all we're here is trying to spread that truth, man. And the truth is not something, but someone. Here we go. We're going to share this video real quick, man. Because this right here is some real stuff, man. Alex Jones is spitting bars on this one, as the kids say.
Yeah, what do you think of the Cowboys? What do you think of this?
Yeah, did you see the simulated combat on TV? Yeah, I watched it. A bunch of rich gladiators that could care less about me. Did you see it? Yeah, I'm empty too. Yeah, I did. I fill my head with facts and figures that don't matter instead of learning the political system and standing up for myself. Again, I'm not saying sports are bad in and of themselves if you're involved in it, but not when it's your whole focus. It's always the same. They're like androids. They have like a little fake conversations. So what do you think of the playoffs? What do you think of the weather? Oh, yeah. And you start bringing up, I don't know, what do you think of the surveillance grid going in? Have you heard about how they're listening to all of us without warrants? They're like, well, gee, buddy, what you bringing that up for? It's kind of weird. Well, it is weird they're doing it. It's very dangerous. Well, I don't care. I'm not involved in politics. I don't have to worry about that, Mac. Oh, really? They're putting the grid in place to rob you, you fat.
Yeah, I'm glad we cut that. He was about to go. He's about to go ham right there. You're muted, my boy.
That boy's about to go in. Had to cut it off real quick. Hey, but T, speak on that, man, because I mean, that's really I don't think he could say it any better, bro.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't even think I have any words to clarify or to validate what he just said. He made some pretty valid points. He was aggressive too, and sometimes it gets aggressive so you can get your point across. It's just a necessity sometimes. So, I mean, if you keyed into the video, if you listen to the video, he basically said everything that was true. He spit nothing but facts there. Can't take anything away from it.
No, you can't, bro. And kind of my thoughts on it is yes, this is a sports podcast, generally speaking. But the foundation of it is Christ. And Christ had to talk about real things. And Christ had to talk about real things going on in life. So guess what? A branch of talking about the faith is going to be having to talk about everyday life. Not just our lives. What's going on in the world? So we're going to have to bring up these conversations. We're going to have to talk about these things because guess what? You got to get the truth out there. You got to mirror what's going on in scripture, and you got to be able to put it to how we can handle it in everyday life and how to handle what's going on in the world. But how do you do that if we don't talk about what's going on? So, guys, we're going to talk about uncomfortable things. We're going to talk about some funny uncomfortable things, some serious uncomfortable things, but everything is going to be stuff that has to be addressed. Q, that's why we call it addressing the game. Because we're not just addressing the game of ball. We're not just addressing the game of life. We're addressing the game of our faith as well. So, man, put y'all seatbelts on, man. Let's go ahead and get ready for another straight. Hey, man, I think Travis Kelce had a little too much on after getting his 9th booster shot, I think he was getting to his head a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, homie on his 9th booster shot. Again, I repeat, that is his 9th booster shot. Let me put the glasses on real quick when I talk about this. Homie is on his 9th booster shot. Let me tell you, because he was showing it. He was showing his butt on the sideline with Andy Reid, man. This was ridiculous, man. Before we even get into the video, T, what is your thoughts on this, man?
Man, I don't know. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't even read his lips. I just saw the clip, and then next thing you know, the day later, you see nothing but Andy Reid and freaking Travis Kelce all down your timeline. Bro. It's everywhere. And then after the game, he proceeds to elaborate and express exactly what happened.
On the fumble, he was not in the game. Joe Gray went in, and after the fumble, he goes over to Andy and goes, "Keep me in." What happened is, on the fumble, he was not in the game. Joe Gray went in, and after the fumble.
Oh, like Candace said, that boy is vaxxed out of his mind.
Yep.
Had to put the glasses on for that one. That was hella shady. Man,
well, I wouldn't go as far as saying that he's a piece of crap, but he
almost pushed over his coach on the sideline. What do you mean?
Could he have expressed himself better? I mean, bro, we've seen Odell have emotional moments. We've seen multiple other players.
Yeah, he's a crybaby too. He's not mature.
Yeah, no, we're not taking that away from them.
But Andy Reid, that's my point though. Why are we doing it to, out of all people? Why are we doing that to, like, yes, you can be frustrated. You never put your hands on someone ever, especially that man. You're supposed to respect that man. Andy Reid is harmless, bro. He ain't gonna touch you. So the fact you putting your hands on the dude, what's wrong with you, man? That dude was vaxxed out of his mind. He got to be, man. That Pfizer getting to him, getting to the brain, boy.
There was another clip that came up where Andy Reid explains exactly what the conversation was about as well. Do we have that video?
No, we don't. I'll probably pull it up if I can.
I believe that it was sent through Instagram, or maybe it was sent through text messages. I don't know. I can't really remember. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, no. As a grown man, you shouldn't be putting your hands on your coach or another grown man in general to get your point across. But I can see where he may have gotten caught up in the moment a little bit, and those side effects did come into play a little bit. But
yeah, someone came and played with it.
We're not Andy Reid.
Hey, here it is right here. We're gonna go ahead and share it. Let y'all watch it real quick.
Here it is right here. I mean, he really caught him off guard. And you can see Kelce's very frustrated.
He caught me off balance. I wasn't watching. He cheap shot, but that's all right.
Kansas City Chiefs coach Andy Reid addressing Travis Kelce's sideline bump during Super Bowl 58.
After the fumble, comes over to Andy. He goes, "Keep me in."
I live life, dog. I live life to the fullest. I try and, spread the love.
But no love in this moment after a Kansas City fumble had Trav knocking Big Red nearly off his feet.
He was really coming over just go, just put me in. I'll score. You know, so that's really what it was. Well, I love that.
I was just telling him how much I love him.
I mean, it's not the first time. So I appreciate him.
I mean, he really caught him off guard. And you can see Kelce's very frustrated.
From cooler heads prevailing to Coach Reid's celebratory cooler dunk.
Mahomes flings it. It's there!
Yeah. So, yeah, it's easy to say that when you win the game.
Yeah.
It's easy to say that when you win the game. All right. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say Travis Kelce's a piece of crap, bro. I don't know the man from Adam. I don't know the dude. Okay. I mean, I just see the crap that he does and some of the narratives he tries pushing. It ain't by what he says, it's by what he does. You know what I mean? We all see the stuff that he's in, and we see who he's with. You know, like just, I mean, her alone, man, be pushing some crazy stuff. I mean, stuff that does not align. I'll just say that. But the fact that, bro, you can't be putting your hands on the coach like that. All right, that's how you know it's rules for thee, but not for me. Okay, not all players are treated equally. Not all players are treated the same. This is a prime example of that. I guarantee you. Let Kadarius Toney put hands on Andy Reid like that. What's the narrative then? What's the narrative then? You know what I mean? Let Patrick Mahomes put his, not Patrick Mahomes, that obviously he definitely wouldn't care. Let another player do that. Mecole Hardman. Let him put hands on Andy like that. You know, like obviously not all players are treated equally. Not all players are treated the same. I don't even think all players are treated fairly. But I'll let you add on that a little bit before we transition, man, because that's just my take. I'm not going to assassinate his character, but I am going to say, man, that moment right there, he's out of pocket for that one.
Whatever you go back and if you actually watch the video and you listen to the video, Andy Reid says that he was just telling me that he wants to be in the game and how much he loves the game or how much he loves me or whatever. Of course, that's not what really was being said. We'll never know what was really said because unless he was mic'd up. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could say if their relationship is strong enough and it has happened in the past, Andy Reid can kind of look past it in a way. But those other times weren't filmed on national television, so we can't really say what their relationship is outside of the Super Bowl, because if he has a little bit of aggression, if he has a little bit of passion or whatever it may be whenever he's at practice or over the phone, that's their relationship at the end of the day. There's nothing we can do about it. Now, if are we saying that whether it's right or wrong? No, we can't. We can't say that.
Soft.
As soft as it is, he's
soft.
As soft as it is, he's still the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, man, look, that's a soft move, bro. He shouldn't be putting no hands on Andy Reid, man. That man's done everything for him. Big reason why he got drafted. So, dog, let's move on, bro. I'm done talking about Mr. Shot himself. All right, we're gonna go ahead, hit another hard transition real quick. All right, man. Klay Thompson. It's a Klay Thompson dilemma. We're gonna talk about some basketball real quick. Klay Thompson is willing to have a lesser role to stay with the Warriors. I've modeled my game, he says, after Reggie Miller and Ray Allen, MSN.com reports. Thailand, go a little go a little deeper into this, man. Talk about.
So if you have been keeping up with the Warriors, if you've been keeping up with basketball in general, you have noticed that Klay Thompson has suffered from an ACL tear and an Achilles deficiency in his leg. So with that being said, he has not played up to his caliber that he was playing to while he was in his prime. I'm not saying that he's no longer in his prime. Well, you can't really say that he's still in his prime because guess what? Klay Thompson he's got to be 38, maybe 40. He's somewhere in that range. He's high 30s, probably early 40s, where these injuries have kind of I guess you could say played a number in how he's been able to keep that role on that team. And I hate that for him because at one point in time, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry were like the power couple. They were the power couple for basketball. They really were. But it seems as if he's kind of falling off now, and there's not really much he can do about it. Because if we're being honest, Klay Thompson has a prettier shot than Steph Curry. Steph Curry is just more proficient whenever he shoots the ball. Oh, okay. So we're pulling up the tab. But yeah, I mean, I stand on everything I said. I guess you could say we feel bad for Klay, because he was such a great player. I'm not gonna say he can't be a great player still, but it's definitely gonna take some recovery and some rehab for him to come back and be his full effect, Klay Thompson, and be the team leader for whatever team he decides that he wants to go to whenever it comes out of the free agency.
I'll tell you one thing, man. Klay, I respect Klay Thompson. I respect him. I hope he does what he does. I hope he stays with the Warriors. That'd be a cool thing to watch. But, man, that being said, this is all the stuff they're talking about when it comes to Klay. The trade deadline has passed, and Klay Thompson stayed with the Golden State Warriors. Now, the next thing is free agency. Do you think Klay will become a free agent? I don't know. Me, personally, I think it'd be best if he stay with Steph, but I'll continue reading. But in the latest interview, the 4-time NBA champion and 5-time NBA All-Star says that he is willing to stay in Golden State for a reduced role. Does a reduced role mean a reduced salary, though, too? Is he willing to cut pay yearly? That's the question. If he's willing to do that, then I can see it. But if he's not, I don't know. Personally, I really don't know.
Yeah, and I was off with his age. I apologize. He's not 38 or 40. He's 35. Whoops.
Hey man, on me. We're gonna hit a hard transition, though, man. It's time to get to the new subject. It's halftime. Here we go. Y'all know what time it is. Now I put the shades on back on for a reason. Because my guy, what we saw in the Super Bowl is one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. I'll tell you why. Here we go. Enjoy the show, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the show. Technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. Wrong video. Here she is, right here, back.
Got me like, oh my God, I'm so in love. How you finally, you make me want to say, oh, I'll be with my squad, rocking
Starlight Express, 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 Starlight Express.
Hey man, Usher was out there killing it, man. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. T, what do you think about the halftime Super Bowl performance?
I'm gonna honestly say that I thought it was pretty good. I do believe that his choreography team could have been a bit better, though. I do believe that.
Hey, when you got Peter Griffin making fun of you, dog, that's a different story, homie.
Yeah. I'm not taking anything away from Usher or Luda or Alicia Keys.
Luda.
I'm not taking anything away from them. They did a phenomenal job, but I do believe that it could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
Supposedly, Usher was only paid $671 up front, but he's going to receive more money from endorsements and from ticket sales, is what I was told. That's what I read, at least.
On me, I think it's funny if you can have you have Peter Griffin getting at you, man. You might be doing something a little wrong, man. You can't be setting yourself up like that. They set themselves up pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Yeah, there's also a dilemma with Usher and Alicia Keys that I don't know if they're pushing out of the narrative. I don't know exactly how it's going, but I have seen it on a lot of platforms.
They better go get their money, dog. Ain't nobody worried about Alicia Keys, bro, and Usher, man.
Yeah.
Let's get some.
She is married. She has been married to Swiss Beats for a while now.
Oh, you talking about when he was groping her?
Whenever he was hugging her, yeah.
Oh, he wasn't hugging her. He was straight.
Well, whatever the case may be, I hope that Usher and Swiss Beats don't have no
Let me tell you what, boy. Let me tell you what. That boy, he said, "I'm coming for you. You mine."
But
I
that's
could only
something
imagine
that
how
Usher.
her husband was
That's
feeling,
something that Usher has dealt with multiple times within the past year. That happened with Keke Palmer. That happened with Doja Cat, and now it's happening with Alicia Keys. So I don't know what Usher has going on, but Usher
roping women like that when they got husbands, dog. You setting yourself up. Don't want to be the next Tupac.
You better sleep with one eye open.
Something, man. You don't want to do that. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the husband's a simp and he ain't gonna do nothing. He's look at my wife. She's on the big stage. Yeah, he's one of them cats. Who knows, man? Hey, but y'all know what time it is. It's the halftime segment of the show, man.
Let the games begin.
Man, it's time for cap or no cap. Let's clap it up, man. Let's get ready for this game.
So for our new viewers, if we have any new viewers, or if we have the consistent viewers, cap or no cap is basically a game where we will address a topic, and if you believe it, then you say no cap. But if you don't believe it, then you say no cap. So let's kick off the game and let's see where it goes.
On me, man. Here we go. But before we start, part of this segment, dog, has a lot to do with it. Okay? This segment has a lot to do with it. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. Cap or no cap.
I just want to win these games. Like,
That's the one like Lamar.
just keep fighting, each and every game because it's any given Sunday. You just got to keep showing it day in, day out. Always rise to the occasion. Trying to get better each and every day.
It's not going to be Lamar just running with the football. It's him making those tight window throws. It's him trusting the pocket. You can throw whatever you want at Lamar. He still finds a way to make plays.
I just want to be doing everything right. My guys don't ever have to worry about a bad ball.
But Lamar Jackson, to be that dynamic, to be that fast and quick, that is your MVP.
I'm just focusing on trying to win. It don't matter. I'm just going to have fun.
But he makes every good football player look very average. There's a lot of good football players out there, but Lamar is the best.
Hey, man. Lamar Jackson. He's going to start off the show. There's a reason why I played that video, man, and all those guys that you've seen in it. Because the first question of the show, here we go. Is he, though? Was he deserving of the MVP? That's what we're fixing to discuss here on Addressing the Game podcast, man. Cap or no cap? Is Lamar Jackson deserving of the MVP? Talin, the floor is yours, my boy.
Is Lamar Jackson deserving of the MVP? First of all, shout out to Lamar for receiving that incredible award, because it is definitely a difficult reward to achieve, I guess you could say. But I do believe that is cap. I looked over the numbers, and he was not the best quarterback in the MVP talk. I do think that Dak had better stats as far as touchdowns and fewer interceptions. Josh Allen, he wasn't too much better. He had more yards, of course, all purpose, but I don't know. I can't say that I honestly think that Lamar should have won the MVP. But I'm not at all saying that the Dak should have won it either. I do think that that someone else should have won it, simply because the numbers could have been better from each player. Christian McCaffrey may have been a better option for the MVP this year, if I'm being completely honest. Even though he fumbled in the Super Bowl and probably had some other mishaps throughout the season, I still believe that Christian McCaffrey should have probably won the MVP for this year.
On me, man, let me give you my take. Because, man, the MVP award is by far one of the biggest jokes I've ever seen. And this is why. I'm going to explain it to you. Before y'all call me a hater, it is a popularity contest. Because Lamar is one of my favorite players. He's some of y'all favorite players. He is the NFL world's favorite player. Doesn't matter what you did on the field. Doesn't matter what your stats say. Who's the favorite? Who's most popular? It is a popularity award. And I'm about to tell you why. I'm going to give you some facts, some major facts. Here we go. Josh Allen had 44 touchdowns this year, if you include his rushing. Just like they say, you have to include Lamar's rushing. You're not including his rushing, dog. He had 44 touchdowns and 22 turnovers. Lamar Jackson had 29 touchdowns and 13 turnovers. What does that make it? It's a 2 touchdown to 1 ratio for both of them. Both of them had a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 touchdowns to 1 turnover. Every single time they scored 2 touchdowns, they would have a turnover. Guess what? One of them had 44 touchdowns, dog. And one of them had more yards than the other guy. And one of them won just as many games as the other guy, except one of the guys that got tied with how many games he won in the playoffs had home field advantage, homie. We can't sit here and act like he ain't have it. You had the team, you had the defense. Ain't no reason, my boy. No reason at all. There's no reason as to why Josh Allen or Christian McCaffrey shouldn't have won that award this year. Truthfully, I think CMC should have won it over both of them. Truthfully. I think they both turned the ball over too much, and I think one of them didn't have as many touchdowns as they should have. Yes, but you got to see how he impacts the team. Homie, Josh Allen affects his team. Christian McCaffrey affects his team. The way they changed their team is crazy. The Bills would not be where they're at without Josh Allen. The 49ers sure as hell wouldn't be where they're at without Christian McCaffrey. So if you're going to use that logic, let's use it around consistently around the whole league. Don't just pick and choose you want to use it just because Lamar, dog. I'm sorry, man. 29 touchdowns, 13 turnovers, 4,400 total yards. Guess what? Josh Allen had more passing yards total than that. He had more passing yards than Lamar's total yardage when you include the rushing yards. So I'm sorry, bro. I love Lamar, but it really frustrates me that we're not just being honest and transparent and truthful about this conversation, man. It doesn't make you a hater when you point out facts.
Can I make a point right quick?
Go ahead, bro.
Also, Dak did can I talk? Dak did have 4,500 total yards, and then he also had 36 touchdowns with 9 interceptions. But as I said, that doesn't mean that Dak deserves to have the MVP. But he had a better year than what Lamar had. I will say that.
The only thing he didn't do was win a playoff game. Guess what? Lamar won 1. The same as Josh Allen. Josh Allen won his playoff game. Wasn't it on the road? Or no, it was at a home game. So, I mean, Josh Allen and Lamar both had home games. And they won 1. They lost the other. One had more touchdowns than the other and more yards. Has the same impact to his team, just like Lamar does. Bro, it's a popularity contest, man. It is a straight popularity contest. And this is why Christian McCaffrey should have won the MVP. Christian McCaffrey should have won it. Because guess what? He has the same impact on his team just like Lamar and Josh Allen. He did roles. He caught the ball and rushed the ball. He did things that Lamar and Josh Allen didn't do from a turnover perspective. He didn't turn the ball over either. Had a lot of touchdowns. And, oh, yeah, we forgot. They got to the Super Bowl, homie.
That they did.
So what are we doing? But overall, if we want to take playoffs out of it, like we should, because this is a regular season award, it is not a postseason award. You see, that's where some of you novice fans get confused. You think, oh, but look what he did in the playoffs. Homie, playoffs don't matter. At least they shouldn't. They might tip the scale a little bit. What you did in the regular season is what matters, bro. That's what matters. What did you do? So if we're going off that, we're definitely giving it to Josh Allen or Christian McCaffrey, man. But we live in a world where when you say that, you will be labeled all types of things because you're not going with the narrative. A hater, a non-believer, maybe even worse, as I've mentioned. But it's major cap, man. No, he didn't deserve to win an MVP. Had a great season. Love Lamar. I hope he comes back, and I hope they go to the Super Bowl and win it next year. He didn't deserve the MVP this year, bro. That was probably the worst. This is the worst. One of the, like, even if Christian McCaffrey did win it, I would still say the same thing. This is one of the worst years of quarterback play I've ever seen, and one of the worst years to give something to anybody with such a stature of and such a high award as this. This is one of the worst years, bro. Worst years. I don't think anybody deserved the MVP. But if you were going to give it to somebody, Christian McCaffrey or Josh Allen, hell, I will go with Lamar over Dak just because of the it factor. And they went and he won. Dak really didn't. Dak choked in big games in the regular season now. I will go with Lamar over Dak. But it's a travesty, man. It's a travesty. But here we go. Next question. Role models are important to live up to. Cap or no cap?
I actually think that I put this in the game. I'm gonna say cap. Me and my mom actually had this conversation on the way home the other day. I'm sorry. So basically, it's okay to model things after people, like after their game or certain ways that they do things, but to have a role model isn't. You shouldn't have a role model. You should have tendencies that you would like to replicate from a certain person, but you should be yourself. You're built different. You're a different stature. Your mind is different from that person. So anytime that you try to replicate what someone else does, it's not going to be the same. I'm not gonna say it's not going to be good. It can still be good, but guess what? It's not you. You got to be able to do your own things. You got to be able to do it your own way without trying to pinpoint and make it exactly how someone else did it. Now, did I say it's not okay to? I said that it is not okay to look at somebody and have them on such a high pedestal that you can't see yourself reaching that. You can always reach whatever you want as long as you work hard for it. So as long as you put in the work and you have that it factor, whenever it comes to motivation or dedication, whatever it may be, you'll be there. You'll be wherever you want to be and better. You'll surpass whoever it is you think is that highest person, whatever it may be.
Man, our role models are important to live up to, or important to have, I guess you would say. I would say, yes, they are important to have, but they're not important. They're not on the scale to where you should try to be exactly like them. So I would say no cap. The reason I say no cap is there's one role model that I try to emulate every single day. We all know who that is, man, as we all should. And it's our Lord and Savior, man, Jesus Christ. I think it's really important to live up to, try to emulate what he did, his life. Look, you got to forgive me for my cough. I apologize. But you got to understand, when it pertains to our role model, there's many things that he did in his life that would be like, man, we just can't do that. And that's something that I would say ultimately, no, you can definitely try, because it's your job to strive for perfection. Because if you strive for perfection, you'll reach greatness. You strive for greatness, you'll be good. And if you just strive for good, you'll be mediocre. And obviously, if you strive for mediocre, you'll be below average. And who wants to be that? You should strive for perfection every single day. Perfection is something that is very key to trying to live up to. You have to try to do it. You have to try to emulate Christ every single day. And I think it's very important that we carry ourselves such way to where we don't even got to speak about it. What we do, others will try to emulate just because of our actions. So I think they are important to live up to when you have the right ones in your life, because role models are such a thing. And sometimes people don't get to choose their role models. Sometimes they're born with them. Sometimes they just have to live with them. Sometimes they have to see it on their street every single day in their school. It's your job to find the right ones. But if you can't find one, there's one that you should already have. If you don't already, make them your role model now. That's our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, man. So no cap. Definitely we need role models in this society. And I think they are very important to live up to. The transfer portal. Question number 3. And y'all guys, feel free to comment. Tell us what you're thinking. If you think it's cap, let us know. If you think it's no cap, let us know. We want to hear you. We want to hear what y'all got to say, man. We'll talk to you. We're probably the only ones that really engage with their audience. Obviously, we only got a few of them. But we want to expand this thing, man. Y'all hit that like button, pound the like button, subscribe, comment. Let's get into this, man. Here we go. The transfer portal is a graveyard for many student athletes in today's society. Thailand, cap or no cap?
No cap. No cap. I'm going to say no cap simply because I was a victim of one of them. I was a victim of it as well. The biggest thing is if you decide that you want to be in the transfer portal, make sure that you have an idea of where you want to be, where you want to go. Make sure that there are schools that are interested in you. Don't just go into the transfer portal expecting someone to just pick you up. Because typically if you just do that, you'll be waiting for forever. You'll be waiting for months on end, and then by the time you do get picked up, if you do get picked up, then it'll either be late or they'll run out of scholarship money or certain stuff. And this is just if you're not a big name whenever it comes to college sports, be it football, basketball, heck, polo, whatever it may be. If you're one of those top 10 or top 20, whatever, top 100 players, then this isn't for you. This is for the people who didn't get the opportunity to go to Division I and went Division II or Division III. The biggest aspect out of this is that if you go to the transfer portal, make sure that you have an idea and you've reached out to a coach or you found somebody to get some clarification on if you can be at a different school. Because there are people who have been stuck in the transfer portal and have not found a home. So no cap. I'm gonna say no cap to this part. I'm not.
Obviously, I'm gonna say no cap because my college career kind of went the same way you did, except I bounced around a few more times than you did, unfortunately. By my own fault, some of it out of my hands, some of it definitely in my control. When I was at Coffeyville, man, that was one of the decisions that was in my control. And I choose to stay. You know, I was living in the Section 8 apartments on the projects, and there was a factory, huge factory across the street. They're going to buy up the land. Well, I could have decided, well, I'll just go get another apartment here in Coffeyville, go play my season in the spring, or at least try to fight for that to make the travel bus, travel squad, and just scratch and claw, play that spring season, and then go in the fall and solidify myself. You know, could have did that. And my other option was go as quick as I can and get as many offers as I can, and then just go because of some adversity I was having, not only in real life but also on the field. You know, with my position coach, and I allowed what he had to say to creep in doubt, and I ran from it, dog. I didn't want to face adversity. I didn't want to face I didn't want to prove him wrong. You know, I was like, man, I've been working my butt off. I've been doing this. I felt entitled for how hard I worked and how I was performing whenever I had the chance to perform, obviously. And my head coach tried talking me in to stay, head coach Jeff Liker at the time, and running back coach as well. He's trying to tell me, like, there's some apartments around here, man. You need to go try to find a spot, man. Don't leave, man. I made a very bad decision, and I chose to take the take the easy way out and chase coaches that were trying to get me to come to their program and get that instant gratification, you know. And instead of trying to convince myself, like, hey, you're gonna have to move just to maybe have to move again after you get your associate's degree in the spring, just for a semester. Do you want to spend that type of money? Well, guess what? I ended up having to do it anyway, because when I went to Chicago to go play at the school that I did, that I got offered to, because I passed up a walk-on opportunity, a preferred walk-on opportunity at a Texas A&M Kingsville. I was like, man, I'll take the money. I need housing, you know, so I'm gonna go. Excuse me, I still got the cough. But I took that opportunity, and in just a few months, my OC got fired, who recruited me there. He got fired, wasn't his fault. And then now I'm looking at myself and I'm getting convinced, like, hey, you need to get out of here before the program falls apart. All right, I'm scrambling. I'm trying to get opportunities, go find a spot. And then I ended up going to Panhandle State. And yeah, I mean, it put myself in a bad situation. And even before all that occurred, before I got to Coffeyville, man, I was at another college where the program kind of fell apart in a sense. And I listened to one of my mentors. He's one of my receiver coaches at this college, at this junior college that I was at before I got to Coffeyville. I took his advice. I transferred. He helped me get to Coffeyville. He said he didn't want me to stay at this particular junior college, and I listened to him, you know. And before that opportunity, I dropped out of college twice, bro. I was a knucklehead, couldn't get together. So there was a lot of things that transpired in my life where I went dictated housing, you know. If I didn't have housing, I had to leave and go to another school. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things in my control, a lot of things out of my control. But ultimately, the things in my control, I could have really helped my college football career with in a positive way if I would have just made the right decisions and actually, instead of looking for what coach, like following coaches, how about following God and following Christ and following where his will was leading me, you know? And I chose the opposite. I chose to rely on my own flesh and make my own decisions. And so, yeah, man, I'm not a fan of the transfer portal. Obviously, I didn't really go in the transfer portal because I was in junior college and I ended up at NAIA schools. By the way, NAIA, I'll definitely go NAIA over D3 any day, y'all. Y'all definitely, any athletes that are looking, you need to go get scholarship money. Don't go play for free don't go pay to play. In other words, you shouldn't have to lose money to go play football at the next level. But yeah, no cap. It is definitely the graveyard, and it almost expired my college career. Luckily, God ended it for me, and by getting that tear in my labrum, and he took it away from me that way because I idolized the game so much instead of idolizing him. So yeah, definitely no cap. Last question, man. And guys, put your comments in there. Tell us what you think. Cap or no cap. Let us know. Please let us know. Recovery starts at home. Thailand, I need you to go a little more in detail. What do you mean by this, bro?
No cap. Recovery does start at home. So whenever we talk about recovery, this can be literally anything. You don't have to be injured to recover. This is sleep. This is your muscles if you're sore. This is recovery for your mind, getting the proper rest that you're required to have. Or if you are hurt, going to rehab and making sure that you're there at least 2 to 3 times a day. I know whenever I was playing for McNeese, I was literally there every day, whether I was hurt or not. I was in rehab for something. I was in there for my ankles. I was in there for my hip. Even if I felt better, I was like, man, I want to minimize any injuries that I could potentially have for the future. So I'm going to be here and strengthen every tendon and every muscle that I possibly can. And Yeah, man. Like I said, no cap. Recovery does start at home. You have to literally start at home. It starts from within. You can't just expect recovery to happen just whenever you're at the field house or just whenever you're at the facility, wherever it may be. You have to start while you're at home.
Most definitely, bro. Most definitely. Give me 1 second. So one thing that I got to say about recovery, athletes, if you ain't doing what you need to do with your body, don't complain when you ain't on the field. Your coach is going to check you. He's going to make sure you're going in there getting seen. If you're not getting seen, bro, you don't want it. You don't want it that bad. So stop acting like it. Stop saying you want, oh, I'm doing it for my mama. I'm doing it for my granny. I'm doing it for my daughter. No, you're not, bro, because you ain't in the recovery room. You ain't lifting weights like that. You're not going to the field like that. You ain't taking care of your body at home like that, like the statement is. So, guys, take care of your bodies. Your body is your business. If you don't take care of your body, you ain't gonna see no chicken, as Marshawn Lynch always says. And if you don't know how to take care of your body, what makes you think you're gonna be able to take care of your chicken? You ain't going to be able to take care of your chicken. You can't even take care of yourself. How you gonna take care of money, financial responsibilities? What are you gonna do when you get a mortgage, bro? Your body is your business. Take care of it. So no cap, bro. I gotta go with it, man. But hey, man. We got to hurry up. Show's about to end, man. We want to get y'all out of here, man, but we want to end the show on some real life situations. Time for a hard transition. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. I was almost. Oh man, I sound like Joe Biden for a second when I was talking. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with all this. Homie, let me tell y'all something. Here we go. I should really put the shades on for this, and that's not even a laughing matter. This is a really serious note. As y'all probably all heard about the Lakewood church shooting, and we're gonna get on a real subject now. At Joel Osteen's church. This is crazy, bro. I can't even lie to you, man. I'm gonna share the video. Let y'all watch it. Here it is.
Male.
Hang on. Wrong video, my boys. Wrong video. Give me 1 second. We're going to get in that video. Trust me. But we're going to watch this real quick first. Yeah, man. But the shooting at the Joel Osteen church, man, it's sad, bro. I ain't got no words.
Years and have somebody shooting in your church. But, you know, we don't understand why these things happen, but we know God's in control, and we're going to pray for that little 5-year-old boy and pray for the lady that was deceased, her family and all, and the other gentleman. But I don't know, it's just kind of in a fog, but, you know, just believe that, you know, we're going to stay strong. We're going to continue to move forward. And there are forces of evil, but the forces that are for us, the forces of God are stronger than that. So we're going to keep going strong and just, you know, doing what God's called us to do, lift people up and give hope to the world.
Man, if y'all hadn't heard, there was a shooting this past Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, from what I know, this past Sunday at Lakewood Church, the church of Pastor Joel Osteen. I'm not the biggest Joel Osteen fan, man, but at the end of the day, for this to happen anywhere is a travesty, tragedy. I mean, and I just think that first and foremost, and I don't say this just off of clickbait or just, you know, the cliche saying like, no, where y'all, everyone that's affected, man, y'all are honestly in our prayers, both of our prayers, especially tonight. Definitely gonna be in my rosary intentions. And guys, I mean, we got to understand. I mean, I'll get into it. I'm gonna let Tylen speak, but man, we got to understand this is a pandemic of not just mental health, but also mental weakness. And there's a lot of, and I blame politics for this, man. I blame politics for this ultimately. And I blame people at the highest levels of our government that are pushing these narratives that it's okay to be mentally ill and to affirm these people in their mental illness. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, like what are you talking about mental illness for in the shooting? Well, the person who shot up the church was a confused transgender. I guess she was I don't even know what to label it. Still, God bless her. I mean, I pray for her confusion and all that stuff, that people can come to forgive her. But ultimately, man, she needs to pay the piper. There's no excuse. That's the problem. We give these cats excuses, and we're making it cool. We're making this ideology of being a different gender to what you were actually born as cool. Dog, I spoke on it a week ago. This stuff is worldwide. It's like a disease. Like, we don't understand. This is why we have to speak on this stuff, okay? We don't understand that these cats that are so confused. The reason she shot them up, I don't really know. This is off my assumption, but guess what? It's a Christian church at the end of the day. What do most transgenders or people with gender dysphoria, I should say, that's what it is. What do most people with gender dysphoria believe about Christianity? They believe that it's a hate group. They believe that we don't like them, that we hate them. We want to dispose of them. Further from the truth. Couldn't be more wrong. But guess what? Who puts that in their mind? Our government and our media. The fake news, like Donald Trump says. You know what I mean? And don't get me on that. I'm not talking about Trump or nothing. So hold your horses. But honestly, that's who pushes this narrative. It's the media, and the government colludes with the media. We have pushed this narrative that it is okay to be mentally ill, and we are going to affirm you in your mental illness, that it's okay to think the way you are. That you, even though you're a girl, you can be called Jim, and you can say you have this genital, and you can go in this boy sport and do what it is. Usually it's a boy pretending to be Sally, and Sally goes in the women's sports and they do what they do. You can do these things, and we affirm these people in it. But guess what? Guess what else we're affirming them in? We're affirming them in hatred for Christians, disciples of Christ. We're affirming them in this belief that we are people of hate. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You know who's really hating right now? It's people in our government, the media, and cats that have gender dysphoria. They hate us. That's the real hatred. Because guess what? This ain't the first time something like this has happened. This is not the first time something like this has happened. When are we going to wake up and realize, man, I vote Democrat, but man, there sure are a lot of Democratic politicians that are really pushing this narrative that a boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy, and that Christians are just the scum of the earth. When are we going to realize that? Because that's the real. Look, we want to talk about real on this show. Let's address the game. Let's address the game of life right here. Because right now, we got politicians and media that are pushing this narrative to our children. They're saying that Jesus is hate. They're saying that Christianity is hatred. We're bigots. We're racist. We're all these things. There's certain people in the political spectrum that are pushing this narrative to our media, and the media pushes it out to them. Guess what? On TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, etc. When you see this stuff, and our kids, they're on this crap all day. They're on it all day. And if that's all they see, that's what's raising them. The government and the media is raising your kids. Take this crap away from them. Your son cannot be a girl. Your daughter cannot be a boy. Don't let the schools, because public schools are doing this. Guess what? The one I'm working at currently does it. We got pride flags hanging up in the hallway, homie. So yeah, I do take it quite personally when I see something like this, people getting shot up in the Christian church, because you got people out here in the media, in the government, that are pushing this narrative, that are saying we are people of hate, when it couldn't be further from the truth, bro. And it really gets me passionate, but man, see, I'll let you speak on it.
As you said, man, it's never a hate thing. We as a Christian myself, you know, I'm not against it. I'm not. It's not that I'm not against it. I'm not against them in general. I love everyone as they are. I treat everybody the same, because that's what we're supposed to do in general. From a moral perspective, from a spiritual perspective, you're supposed to treat everyone the same. So the people that I know who don't quite think of everything the same way as we do, they're pretty radical about this situation. And as you said, this is not the first time that this has happened. Maybe it's the first time for a transgender or whatever it may be. And this is not to make any highlights of anything.
This ain't even the first time.
This isn't to make any highlights of anything. But there are multiple other instances where a person has went into a large setting, and whenever they got done shooting or stabbing or whatever it may have been, they labeled it as a mental illness. And that is just crazy, because you look at the guy who went to the black church and he shot up the black church. You look at him and you see like his mug shots, or you see his you see like his everyday, because you know people have videos and people have pictures of people before certain situations happen, and you think, well, yeah, man, that guy does look kind of crazy. He does look like there's something wrong with him. But I'm not gonna label it a mental illness. I'm just gonna say, well, hey, he hated maybe he hated black people, maybe he hated Christians, maybe he just woke up one day and he was like, hey, I'm gonna go shoot up a church. I don't know. But at the end of the day, we have to love those people. We have to love those people at the end of the day, because guess what? There's no greater sin than any other. They're all the same. And then also the Lord always taught us to forgive. So at some point we do have to forgive. I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't dislike that person, that you shouldn't say bad things about that person. Yeah, because they did something horrible. They did. We can agree on that. But for you to just live your life hating somebody, you're not gonna be able to excel in life, because you'll live your life hating someone and never being able to progress. Yeah, he killed multiple people. Yeah, that's a bad trait. Yeah, we don't like that.
Well, we don't even know who he was. Was it a he? Was it a she? I don't know.
No, I'm not even talking about the Joe Holstein church incident. I'm talking about the one from I think 2 or 3 years. And I can't quite remember his name off the top of my head, but it's like, yeah, man, we hate the act. We hate the tendency that he did. We hate whatever provoked him to go and shoot up the church. We do. But I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, I hate that person. Hell no, I'm about to sit here and say I hate that person. I don't know the guy. I know that he did some messed up stuff, of course. I know that. And that's me coming from a black person. Yes, I don't like what he did. I don't like anything. I don't like any of it. But I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna lose sleep hating on him, because what is that gonna do for me? Hell, if it was one of my family members and I just sought out that I had to go get revenge, what would that have done for me? I would be locked up in a cell somewhere. And then guess what? Then I have to repent and I have to ask for forgiveness, because, as I said, there's no greater sin than one another. So he went in there, he shot up 8 to 10 people, whatever the numbers were, and then I go and kill him. Yeah, I'm gonna have the freaking gratitude of, hey, I killed the killer. But at the end of the day, whenever I have judgment day, God's gonna be like, well, you still killed one of my children, you know?
Nah, self-defense. That's a totally different subject.
We're not saying self-defense. We're saying after the fact.
After the fact, it was self-defense. The Bible, scripture even clarifies that.
That's spite. That's spitefulness. That's revenge.
Oh, you talking? Wait. Are you talking about just going out of your way to kill him?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
So that's my take on it. That's how I see it. I'm not an Uncle Tom advocate or anything like that, but I am one to know that at some point we do have to forgive that person, and yeah, we will stay away from that person. Yeah, we will have slick remarks. Yeah, we will side eye that person, and we may say some things, like I said, but man, at the end of the day, we gotta just pray for people.
So this is one of my things, and Tyler, and I agree with you. Forgiveness is really key. One thing I would actually add on or correct you on is there actually is sins that God hates more than others. There actually is mortal sins and venial sins, deadly sins and not deadly sins, sins that kill your soul, destroy your soul, put your soul to death, and sins that are scars on your soul. God clearly states that in scripture. And one of the things that we fail to realize as a society is that I disagree that all sins are the same. They're not. They're not. They're not the same. Some sins, like Scripture has pointed out to us, some sins are a lot more graver than others. The reason we have our moral compass the way we do, there is a reason for the death penalty. Not only the church, but Scripture even justifies it. The death penalty should be given to certain people, of people who are not innocent. But innocent life should always be protected. That's where the pro-life movement comes in. These people who are mentally ill, I would not proclaim or say that they deserve the death penalty, assuming they are truly mentally ill. Because guess what? Mental illness chooses you. You don't get to choose mental illness. And nowadays, we have a lot of people choosing mental illness for all different types of various reasons. Most of it has to do with clout. Bear with me. But when it comes to something like this hatred, right? This is the side effect of what the government and the media has pushed on our kids. This is the side effect, and this is just going to keep coming. And it's not only being pushed on kids now. Obviously, adults are going to believe what they believe. And this was a full-grown woman or dude, whatever she was, whatever it was. I don't know. I really don't care. This is my thing, and this is where we are at as a country. Because right now, we're more worried about what she is than the act that she committed, homie. She just went into a Christian church and eradicated people, injured people, based off of an ideology that she was given and that she believes from somebody. Government, the media, and I think it's all ran by the devil. And this is why I say that, because listen, we're more worried about what it is, who this is, making sure her pronouns are correct, than actually worried about the action that was given. And this is why I say that. I want y'all to pay attention to this, because this is exactly where our world's at. This is where our priorities are. We're more worried about the pronoun of this person than we are of the heinous act that she committed. Man, roll a clip.
We utilize both male and female names, but through all of our investigation to this point, talking with individuals, interviews, documents, Houston Police Department reports, she has not identified this entire time as female, she, her, and so we are identifying her as Genesee Moreno, Hispanic female.
Bro, I'm sorry, but love the person, hate what they do. Love the person, love every person. And I feel like it's too soon to be speaking on certain things like this for certain people that may have been affected. So I understand, but obviously love the person, forgive the person, and it may take time. You're gonna have to forgive every single day. You're gonna take time. But let's realize that this is an attack on people of the Christian faith. That's just what it is. And until we actually start to realize that Christianity as a whole is being persecuted, like through the media, from our government, and eventually it will be physically, because I'm a firm believer that will happen. That day will come. You're just gonna keep living in la la land, and it's gonna then one day it happens. You ain't gonna know what hit you. You ain't gonna know what hit you, man. I won't be surprised when we have to start going to do service underground. We have to start doing mass underground. Whether you're Protestant, whether you're Catholic, whether you're Orthodox, at the end of the day, this is an attack on the Christian faith. What are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna sit back and ignore it? Are you gonna sit back and complain? Are you gonna blame others? Or are you gonna actually get to the root of the issue? I'll tell you what the root of the issue is, and I'll tell you how we can change it. First step, acknowledging the truth that politicians and our media are infiltrating our kids' minds. This is the crap this ideology that just went and massacred people. That's the ideology going into our kids' minds. They're teaching you to hate your country. They're teaching you to hate who you are as a person. They're teaching you to hate people of specific races. Don't get me started on who it is. And they're teaching you victimhood mentality. That's what they're teaching you now. They're teaching our kids that. All of our kids. They're teaching us to hate each other, and they're teaching us to hate ourselves. Why do you think we're going to get these gender transitions? Why do you think all this stuff's happening? Why are we killing people in churches? Hate, because we're teaching it, and our government's funding it, and our media is putting it out there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to acknowledge who's doing it. Who's doing it? Radical leftist Democrats. That's who's doing it. Not your average day voter, whether you vote Democrat or Republican. I really could care less. But there are radical leftists out here that are pushing these narratives that this stuff's okay. It's not. That's truth. You need to hear it. Secondly, how do we go by trying to battle this evil? Step one, stop giving your kids these things, man. Give them a flip phone. They don't need no iPhone. They're going to be on it. They're going to have TikTok brains by the time it's done. Don't give them phones. Stop getting your kids tablets. They don't need to go, bro. I was on my kids, they were at one of my relatives' house, and they say, I see an LGBTQ cartoon show for one of my kids that they could have clicked on and watched. Just right there on kids' YouTube. Could have easily watched it. That's the type of stuff that we're getting. It's in all the public schools. It's in the school I work in. It's one reason why I don't really want to work there no more. And I can't wait to find a college coaching job. You know, but who knows? It's in our universities too. But I'm just trying to coach. I'm not trying to be in that area. I'm not trying to teach, you know, because, and I definitely am not letting my kids go to public school for as long as I have anything to say about it. It won't happen because of all this crap that's going on. So that's how we battle it. Do everything you can to either send your kid to a very strict, very educational private school, whether it's a Catholic school or whatever other school you want to send them to. That's a private school for academics, whatever it is, academia, who cares? Send them to a private school. Or better yet, if you can afford it, men, if you can afford to let your wife stay home and your wife wants to do this, let her be a stay-at-home mom. Let her teach your kids. Because guess what? That's how we made it for all these thousands of years. That's how we made it. That's how the civilization was built, because of mothers stay-at-home moms, taking care of their children, teaching them, nurturing them, caring for them. That's how we battle this. That's how we defeat these evil people in the political spectrum, right or left, black or white. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter who it is. We know who's doing it. That's who we're battling against, these radical leftists. There's evil people everywhere, but that's where it starts. That's the truth bomb. Now we move over. How do we change it? How do we make sure that our kids aren't infiltrated by these type of ideologies? Make sure that their education is guarded and you know who's teaching them, whether it's their mother or whether it's the people at the private school. Make sure you're choosing a good private school. And if you can do anything you can about it to keep your kids away from public school, unless you know it's a small town and you know who's there, you know them in and out, do everything you can to keep kids out of public school, man. And don't give your kids phones. Not no iPhone. Go give them a flip phone, man. Go to Dollar General. It's easy. It's real easy, man. T, any last thoughts before we transition?
No last thoughts. I think we pretty much hit everything on the head.
I mean, man, on me. So here we go. We're going to hit a hard transition. Last but not least, man, here we go. We're going to talk about life. We're going to go to our next subject, our very last subject, right before we get out of here, man. Alan, I guess I'll let you read it off to the people if you want to, and then we can just we'll go from there, brother.
The last segment will be, let me get to it right quick. The last segment will basically be a little bit of fillers to basically state how it is living as a parent in this day's economy, and how difficult it is, how much money you need to make, what you need to do in order to, I guess you could say, thrive in this economy, simply because it is very difficult nowadays. Money is tight. A lot of stuff is happening. So I think our first topic.
Hey, let's start with how to handle certain obstacles along the way, being away from home with little to no help. How to be a man, basically, and how to be a woman.
Okay. Well, we can start there. Would you like to start it, or you want me to start it?
Go ahead and start.
Well, again, the topic is how to handle certain obstacles along the way, being away from home with little to no help. Being as a young adult that moved away from home whenever he was 18, 19, it was definitely difficult. Yeah, I had my fair share of fun, and then also I didn't have my fair share of fun whenever I had to learn more and mature more. I had to mature very quickly, which I'm still doing. I'm still maturing. There's always room for improvement. Don't ever think that you're too mature for any learning aspects of life. We learn stuff every day. But if it were up to me, I would definitely say more than likely get a job. And if you don't get a job, then get something to do to occupy your time that won't get you into any trouble. Make sure that you stand on your work, on your studies. If you're in college, make sure you're staying in your books. Like I said, get a job, or find a group of people who are excelling in life and only going upwards, and not somebody who doesn't have anything going for them. In other words, make sure that you find the correct friend group. And yeah, it's kind of difficult sometimes to let go of people who you've known for such a long time, but at the same time, those same people who you've known for a long time and they may not be going anywhere in life. If you're not trying to help them progress in life, and they're not trying to help you progress in life, you'll end up staying where you are. And if you want to stay where you are, then okay, that's cool. But if you want to progress and be a success story for your family, or if you just want to be a success story for yourself, you have to find good people who are only going upwards. And that's my take on it.
Man, one thing I would say about how to handle certain obstacles on you while being away from home is learning how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I mean, you're gonna, especially those first couple weeks, it's gonna suck. But after those first couple weeks, you'll realize like this is what God's calling me to do. He's calling me to go start my own life. To separate from my mother and my father, and to be able to go and become a man or a woman, to become a wife or a husband, and to have a family. That's what God called us to do. He called us to become in union as a marriage, to procreate, and to be unified as a couple, and to continue that. And I think that's the way to handle the obstacle of being away from home, is knowing you have a future. But to know you have a future and a dream, you have to have goals. Get those goals down, and then you start achieving those goals. And then you have real life hitting you in the face, and it could either be positive or negative, depends how you do it. But I think setting your future up and realizing who do you want to be? Do you want to be a husband, a wife, a father, a mother, or do you want to be a nun or a priest, a pastor, whatever the case may be? Do you want to give your life to Christ? Which obviously I would hope y'all do, because I mean, there's nothing that I could actually say different that. I'm nothing. I have nothing. I don't have, the little that I have is gone, and I think that just transitions us to maintaining a certain lifestyle. And I don't even think we should even be focused on maintaining anything. We should always be progressing towards something. And if you're progressing towards something, that means you're walking the tight, narrow path. And if you're walking the tight, narrow path, that means that you're progressing towards heaven, because at the end of the day, we're all preparing for our death, whether we know it or not. So I think the number one way to be able to help you have a sane mind is to prepare for your death and be prepared for your death whenever that time comes. Because there's nothing worse than a man or a woman who dies unexpectedly, who was not prepared to meet their creator, to meet their father. And that's my main take on it. Just get your priorities in order. If you don't know God yet, if you aren't serving Christ yet to your fullest extent, and I'm not sitting here saying that I'm doing this glamorous job. No, but I can sit here and say with full confidence that I try to strive for perfection every single day. I can say that with full confidence, and I say that in the most humble way. And I think the more I keep doing that, the more I notice a change in my life, because it's helped me be able to continuously, slowly chip away at greatness, greatness, greatness. Not for me, but for the kingdom, so I can give the glory to Him for whenever I reap what I sow. But if you're not submitting, if you're submitting to the creation instead of the creator, then your life will slowly nothing but emptiness. And that's really my take on it. I think the last one, Thailand, would you agree? You got any different thoughts before we go to the very last one?
No, I actually think that should be the last one. I think that this last topic is a pretty I wouldn't say a hard one, but it's a pretty hard take.
Yes, sir.
It's a pretty serious take. So I do believe this could be our last one. So that way, anything else we have is it can just run over into the next episode.
On me, brother. Hey, man. Well, everybody, I appreciate y'all's time, man. Let's give it one more round of applause for the birthday boy.
I had forgotten.
Hey, man. Tell the people how old you turning, man.
I'm turning old. That's how I'm turning.
Man, dog. Whoever sees this, man, put a comment in there. Give a huge happy birthday to the boy. Please, to the man, I should say. Hit that like button. Hit it. Hey, we're going to hit that like button. Ready? Here we go. We're going to hit that like button in 1, 2, 3. Pound that like button. Let's go. Pound that like button. Hey, man, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate everything, all the support. Again, we don't care if it's 1 viewer or 1 million viewers. We love y'all. The more people we get on the show, the better, the more we'll be able to improve the quality of how the program looks. But the quality talks and the quality conversations we have will always stay the same. And we're only going to improve from here, from that standpoint. But you're always going to get truth and realness from us. I can't say that for a fact. So one of my things, man, before we get out, we always do this. It's a tradition. There I go. I'm doing my Biden again, stuttering. It's a tradition we do. We try to break it out in a prayer, and we kind of go from there, do what we got to do. T, any last thoughts before we get to our prayer, man? Anything?
No last thoughts. We do appreciate you guys for sticking around again. As always, for our new viewers, go ahead and check out our website at adjustingthegame.com. If you are one of our consistent viewers, then hey, we appreciate you for coming back and tuning in with us. And I look forward to reading all the happy birthday comments. On me, man. Y'all give the boy, y'all give the man a happy birthday, please. Do that for him. He deserves it. He's a dog. I completely forgot it was tomorrow. I'm gonna be honest. Hey, man. So tomorrow's your birthday. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Guess what else tomorrow is? Guess what else tomorrow is? Work. Ash Wednesday. Go to Mass, my brothers and sisters. Go to Mass. Get the blessing. Receive the ashes. Let everybody know you're a disciple of Christ. If you don't know what it is, look it up. I advise you, please look it up. Let everybody know you're a disciple of Christ. Go get them ashes. Go get the cross on your forehead. Let people know who you serve, what it is you serve, and why you serve. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're going to go ahead and break it down in closing prayer. We're going to say 2 prayers, and then we'll do one scripted, and then we'll do a personal one. Thailand, would you like to do the personal one while I do the scripted prayer? You want to go ahead and do the Sure. I definitely would. I'm going to let you do it first, though. All right. Everybody, if you would bow your head and do the sign of the cross in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Saint Michael, the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray, and do thou, Prince of the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl about the world seeking the ruins of souls. Amen. Amen. And into my prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we do come to you today, not to ask anything of you, but to say that we appreciate everything that you have done for us and that you continue to do. I want to thank you for yet another blessing of a year that it has been for me whenever the clock strikes 12 o'clock. I hope that all our viewers can spend time with their loved ones on this very special day. But also, we just want to say that we appreciate safe travels. We want to say we appreciate the love for our families, the help, the mental stability to even be able to put stuff together like this, and we couldn't do it without you. So with that being said, we do appreciate it, and we stand on that by any chance and by every chance that we get. Amen.
Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Hey, guys, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Hey, hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Go comment. Wish our boy a happy birthday, man. Tomorrow's Ash Wednesday. Again, go to Mass. Let everybody know who you serve, what you serve, and why you serve him. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. With all that being said,
peace out.
God bless. Peace out, man. We out of this thing.
You're only half happy or? Still to be happy about. You're up too old. Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Now the motion man goes to the left. Over the middle. Wow. Tipped up and caught. What an athletic play there by number 84, Klay Thompson.
Yeah, that was it. And with that, I know I can win.